The Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. Don't look now, but they lied to you about it. That's right. The US administration hasn't kept any of their campaign promises. Why would they keep this one? Well, stay tuned because what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to give you the scenarios for what could happen to make Bitcoin go up massively. The clues are right in front of our eyes, hitting the tape on July 7th, 7-7. Those numbers come from the Bible. So that means something biblical could happen. Being a little facetious, but what you're going to get from this video are scenarios, and then you're going to get the reasons why Bitcoin is going to move higher despite the betrayal with the strategic reserve rug. That's what I'm calling it. I'm your host, Bill Noble. If you want those scenarios and you want the reasons why it's going to go up anyway, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Now, in today's world, on July 7th, we had the leader of a Middle Eastern country make his third visit to the White House. Talk about what exactly? How about talking about a new round of conflict over in the Middle East, like as in kinetic, as in shooting? Wait, I thought that was over. Oh, wait, maybe not. Because again, what are they talking about? And they also dropped, the files that they were going to give everybody about all those bad people. Yeah, that disappeared. It never happened. There's no files, there's no lists. Case closed. On the same day that this guy was visiting Washington, they lied to our faces like no new wars. We're going to give you the files. America first. Now, you have to start assuming that they're going to lie to you about the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. Remember the sovereign wealth fund? Big countries, they have their own retirement funds. They're not retirement funds. They're like funds for the country, the government, to make money off capital markets. That was supposed to be on Trump's desk 3 months ago. Well, guess what? It's not. The tariff money was supposed to go in there. Where is the tariff money going? Not in the Bitcoin. So if they rug pull you on the strategic reserve, what could happen? Well, Bitcoin could go down. Maybe it goes down to like 100, 102, right? This is July 7th. It's right now around 108. Or maybe you get lucky and you get some kind of bigger plunge. How would you get that? And here's your scenarios. You have a new conflict overseas. Oil goes to $200 a barrel. Remember everyone was talking about that on the first go around? Yeah, what happens if you see it again? What happens? And of course, there's a stock market, right? Completely delusional. Like retail buyers have FOMO'd into stocks, right? After the tariff tantrum in April of 2025, you see the retail buying, you fade that. Everybody is long the wrong stuff. All these retail investors bought stocks, and stocks could top hard because, you got tariffs and you could have a shock event out of the Middle East because, after all, what exactly are they talking about in person in Washington? And of course, if there is a distraction, whether I'm right about the whole oil Middle East thing or not, there'll be a distraction, be like, yeah, we'll do that later. Yeah, it's like it. It's an industry. It's good. We'll do it later. Okay. And then the next thing you know, you're not going to get made in the USA cryptos. You're not going to get Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. Okay. So that's the bummer part. But here's the really good news. Like when you go from apathy to betrayal, people might give up or the governments might give up. And then boom, higher oil prices could shake the confidence in the financial system. Stocks rolling over could send people fleeing into Bitcoin. It happened the first time. And here's the big kicker. You could have a US government bond auction fail. You hear all this talk about, oh, well, we're going to borrow $5 trillion. We're going to add to the debt. We're going to have a $2 trillion deficit. What exactly does that mean? And it's super relevant for Bitcoin. So keep with me here. If you have an auction for bonds, because that's how Uncle Sugar gets all the money that he borrows. He gives people bonds. He doesn't give them. He sells them to Wall Street. Well, what happens if Wall Street or the banking system or whatever goes up? You know what? We're done. We don't want these things. And there's a crisis of confidence with our bond market. After all, you got Elon on a tape now with his new political party on Twitter every single day, undermining the administration, the confidence. Okay. Now, if you have that, that's the fertile ground for Bitcoin to explode because it's Satoshi Nakamoto or an intelligence service that says they were Satoshi Nakamoto, but Bitcoin was born out of failure. It was born out of betrayal. After the 2008 financial crisis, when Wall Street banks made such horrendous investment decisions that they actually blew themselves up, literally. They had assets on their balance sheet go to zero. It's kind of like you waking up one day and, I don't know, your car's gone. Your assets are just vaporized. That's what happened in 2008. It created a huge recession. It was terrible. And the Bitcoin white paper came out right after that. Bitcoin was born from betrayal, from disaster. So you want to give us betrayal? Great. Bitcoin's not going to go up because it's like the shiny thing that you use to get elected. It's not, right? It's going to go up because people, us, go, you know what? This government thing we're done. We don't need governments to validate Bitcoin, especially if you have like a Middle Eastern event or even some catalyst that we can't imagine. And even with Elon, we don't need a political party to say, oh, I favor Bitcoin. We favor Bitcoin because even if you don't get the strategic reserve, even if it's rigged, even if you get rugged, Bitcoin is powered by failure. It's mathematical, but it thrives in despair. And if governments make a fool out of themselves, the age of the monetary rebellion is here. Governments could just accelerate it. Stay sovereign. We'll see you next time.